guys, here we are again, talk show hosts, also known as Carl Houts, here doing a little video on the first, first-person shooter I've played on PC since, I honestly can't remember the last one. I think the last one I played was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, with you guys a little bit. Joel, I'm joined by an experienced noob, Joel Cook as well, my trusty engineer. So we're looking at heroes and generals, and yeah, I don't have a ton of experience with computer first-person shooters, but getting back into this one, it's kind of like reignited my love for keyboard and mouse controls with first-person shooters for sure. This is a free-to-play game. It's set in World War II, and it's a really interesting concept. Like, you can shoot, you're going to have 3 different soldiers for each faction. There's Russian, German, and United States. And the kind of minutia of the game, the very small game that you're going to be paying attention to is it's very similar to a lot of other tactics-based, I'd say it's closer to Battlefield in terms of the
Battlefield, right?
Old Battlefield in terms of the combat than it is to Call of Duty. Just because spotting is pretty big in this game, where if you're looking at people for 3 or 4 seconds, they're going to be spotted. It doesn't follow the person like it does in Battlefield. It just points a marker on the map that stays there for about 5 seconds, and then you can kind of strategize around that. But I love that there is that amount of depth to that. Now, something I needed to kind of go into before we really get into the gameplay is there is a lot of depth here, and I can tell the developers have made a good game. They're actually working on it. They're not just releasing a free-to-play game and saying, F it, whatever it does is fine. However shitty it is fine with us. No, they're actually changing it. They're fixing things. But there is, you can see this gold option here on every single screen. There's always the option to pay money to unlock.
They don't hide that.
They don't hide it whatsoever. And it's just listen, yeah, if you're into this, you want to become a paratrooper right now, sure, chip in a few dollars. But you totally have the option to not pay anything and just level up and literally level your character all the way up to general, which is you can see here, and they are the boss status of the game. They're super expensive, and I think they make it kind of that's super cross prohibitive. I think this is the equivalent of several $100s if you were just to buy into general. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Now, does the general fight as much as some of the other guys?
No, the general, now this is the sick part. Once you advance further on and level up, you start to you can join assault teams, and the assault teams get picked by generals and sent out into the war. So there's constantly a war going on between, it's set in Europe, those fronts, and like I said, you're USA, Germany, or Soviet Union, and it's really cool. I just really like it how they're sending certain teams here. There is the paratrooper thing. There's tank things way down the line in the game. When you're just starting out, it's infantry versus infantry. You got to learn that. You got to do it well. I noticed the next game mode, which is an assault type game mode. So it's kind of I'm not sure exactly what it is in this game, but the assault modes that I've known in the past have been capture this. Anyway, I want to go back to this. Here's another thing that's really cool about the game. You can put gold in, if you do have a lot of gold, you can eventually buy these war bonds, which will pay back. It'll basically give you a per month gold amount that's automatically given to you, and then it gives you your total back at the end of that time frame, which is a 6-month time frame.
Right.
But it's 93,000 gold, which is several $100s. I'm not sure exactly. I'm level 3 still. Oh, I'm level 2 still. I've played the game for about 5 hours, so I'm not sure how much gold unlocks as you level up. You get you get a bonus for the first win of the game, but after that, I don't know.
I'm assuming because they let you seemingly buy the gold that they're not just going to hand it out. Like you said, you play one match at the beginning when you first log in, they give you 12 gold or 4 gold or something.
Well, that's why I think it's super important to cover the pricing and the store aspect of any free-to-play game, because
Absolutely.
In terms of Heroes of the Storm, been playing that game a lot lately. It's like free game, but they pretty much do throw the gold at you. Like,
Right.
the only thing you're forced to buy is skins at the end of the day. Like, if you want to look cool. Now here you're looking at the current war that's going on, and you can see the lit up parts are battles that are happening, or battle zones that are kind of being contested. I'm not sure all of the very specifics of this, but I just like looking at this map and seeing that it's live, and that, you know, these are all different battlefields going on, and that players are kind of choosing what teams go at each other. I think that's a really cool concept for a first-person shooter. And I don't think it's like, nothing's quite been done like that exactly before. There's kind of like the commander in Battlefield games, but even they don't get this level of like depth in terms of...
For a free game, it seems like they thought about it a lot.
They really did. I mean, they're doing well. You can see right here, I'm like clicking on these and it says wrong tier. So I think I have to be level 5, or I might have to have a specialization before I can join these battles.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm definitely not like way too low at level 2 here. So this is my main guy here. I've been playing with Harold Taylor. I'm thinking of switching to German because one of the dudes named is Carl.
Oh, there you go. You have to.
So I'm kind of have to. I mean, it's like, yeah, you're the Nazis, but...
Well, you're German anyways, Carl.
I am German, part German. But the other thing that's cool is like each side, they do pretty much stick with period weaponry. You know, there's nothing way out of the ordinary here except for like these types of perks you can get. But even still, I mean, this is kind of like, you know, it's real life, as you practice more of one aspect, you basically have like a set knowledge level that other people don't have. So these are kind of like a perk system that you can pick from once you earn, you know, as you level up. Pretty cool stuff I've seen in here, like, you know, here's one that's like less noise while moving. The one that I was looking at that was really interesting that I just unlocked was like head down or something like that, where it was like it takes like 7 to 10 seconds longer to spot you.
Okay.
So yeah, you can.
Is that part of like the recon perk, or
no? I just unlocked that by like. See, that's the thing. A lot of the perks and guns will be unlocked by leveling up totally unrelated stats in the game. You know, like eventually I'll be leveling up a bolt action, or I'll unlock a bolt action rifle from all my kills with this semi-auto rifle. This is like the first weapon they give you. So yeah, now here you can just pick like, okay, we're going into the normal battle, and I'm picking my dude here. Oh yeah, it's Alfred. I could have swore there was one named Carl. There's another option to name your gun or name your player. Okay. But guess what, Joel?
You gotta pay for that.
You gotta pay for that.
Aw, snap.
It's small.
Who would have thunk?
It's pretty small. But yeah, that's the point about this game is like, there's a gold sink at every turn. Like every click, every screen you can come to, there's a place for you to spend money. And I don't fault them for that.
I mean, you gotta do it.
They have to do it. You know, they have to try and lure you in to make money. I get that.
But I did notice that you could buy an absurd amount of gold for like over $100. Like,
yeah,
what?
You can. But that $100 currently only gets you 28,000. You saw the general dude was like 100,000.
So you'd need to spend like $500 just to get like the general.
Now, but that would be stupid. That's what I'm saying, is that would be ridiculous. Like the other thing that you can buy with gold that's the most important is exactly what Firefall has, which is you basically pay for an increased your experience gain.
Okay.
And yeah. But in the gameplay here, this is the basic thing you're going to have. There's about 5 or 6 different maps that you'll start off in right away, and it's just domination. There's 3 objectives. Go capture them.
Cool.
So that's where you're mainly going to be. Here, I think you actually have to like unlock this. So this dude, whoever's driving or spawned this truck, has to be at least like level.
Looks like he's having some difficulties.
Well, we've got a lot of passengers here.
Oh, you're exceeding the weight limit?
Yeah, we might be. You actually can't chat. You can see the chat down there. You just typed in.
How is the community? Are they annoying? They nagging? They smart? Do they know what they're doing?
You know, it seems like, honestly, it seems like kind of cool because I think there's a lot of people from a lot of different parts of the world playing this game right now.
Okay, it's very international.
It seemed like there was a lot of Eastern European, a lot of maybe Russian. I know there was a pretty good amount of North American, but decent. I mean, there wasn't nobody like chats in the game. Like, there's nobody like shit talking. Like, oh, you should have done this better. Like, no, you should have done this better. Go fuck yourself. There's none of that because I mean, the game is kind of hectic, and it's like, how are you going to know? You can't see the entire battlefield and know, like, oh, it was one person's fault for dying one way. And I think
it's more of a big picture
that's
game.
the thing. That's the thing. I think in first-person shooters, a lot of, like, people are a lot more forgiving for that sort of thing because everyone's been in that situation where you spawn, something stupid happens, or... You know, you have like a noob moment and throw a grenade.
Oh, I have plenty of those.
Of course. And I have them too. I have them too, especially in first-person shooters. One of the things I really love to do right away is just flashbang myself in whatever game I'm playing. Luckily, they don't have flashbangs in this, but you do get a few grenades, and that's kind of... You get a grenade. I think I have a sidearm. And that's it.
I do like that you can grab the old school bikes. And
I'm running into
just
battle
laying
on a
around.
bike. Yeah. Yeah.
I only played this game for about 15 minutes or so. I did find a bike, and that they come equipped with a bell.
They do?
I do recall. And I think it's cool that this game came about because, you know, it wasn't too long ago where we were actually talking about how we wanted to get back into like a World War II game and how there really hasn't been that many good ones. And I remember we were discussing even playing Call of Duty's World at War again because that game, I mean, had some good qualities to it.
It did. And this game kind of makes me want to go back to that a little bit, just for like the smoothness of it.
Yeah.
But honestly, like looking at this, I was surprised that I found myself like kind of craving to play it again. Like I played it for probably 5-6 hours, and I've had it for like a week or so.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean,
I think the graphics are great for a free game.
exactly, yeah, like great
I think
graphics.
developers are starting to get the idea that yes, to make a free game, it can't be a shit game. Like, you know, there has to be good quality content, and with good quality content will come people spending $40-$50 on gold that doesn't even get them a whole lot of, you know,
Exactly.
items.
And I think my recommendation for, I made this for Hearthstone, and I just put out a Hearthstone guide and said, put $50 into the game. Like, there's so many options that it's going to unlock for you that it's going to be worth that money. I think if you're super into first-person shooters and you want to have a lot of options right away, for me, I think I can just stand like playing with this thing, being a noob, but like helping out my team how I can and just leveling up as I go. I think I'm fine with that, you know. But if I were gonna buy, I would probably put 20. There's like a $21 or $22 option.
Okay.
And that I think will unlock a decent amount of guns, and you can get a few, maybe like a month of boosted experience time to kind of help that process along. But definitely don't put $60 or $100 into this game. Yeah, it's just going to be like wasted on you. Like, if you do that, you'll be able to unlock many, you know, options for all three factions at the same time. But it's like, okay, so much of the game is leveling up to begin with. Why don't you just enjoy the leveling process at a certain point instead of paying to win?
Is it a long ass grind?
I mean,
I'm sure
there is a lot of content, but actually, I mean, that's kind of what gives it replayability, in my opinion. So that ended up being like a really good game. I think it's a decent game.
Is it only multiplayer? Is there a campaign mode?
There is not a campaign mode.
I didn't
No, this is not a first-person or not a single-player experience whatsoever. The only single-player experience you can kind of get to is once you get to be a general, because they will be mostly watching from the battlefield. I will say I like this game also because on the battlefield itself, there's no kill streak rewards.
Right.
You can pick up. There's like 2 health kits on the entire map. Okay. So if you get injured and then you manage to get to a health pack, you're a fucking badass. You know, it's just like it'll almost never happen.
So can you expect to survive a long time?
No.
Or, I mean, I don't see you dying that often.
Well, I'm keeping my head down behind some concrete over here, and I'm watching this hill, and I see them coming over. You'll see me. I'm taking hits here. I'm down way low. If I take one more bullet, I'm done. So when it's all about like, you know, don't over. It's like in other games when it's player versus player, like. You can't overextend. Like, I probably shouldn't be heading this direction with how low on life I am right now, just looking at this. So, I just want to we'll just kind of watch the gameplay and see what happens.
Now, have you experienced, since there is an international community, is there much lag at all because you have people playing from all over the world, or?
No, the only types of lag I've never seen any player lag in the game. I've only seen kind of game lag issues here and there. It's kind of weird because it does like pop up a new window whenever you launch. This is why we've had a lot of problems trying to record this game because the game has like application for the home screen, the menu, and your character screen. See, now I'm doing the right thing by going back and recapping here. But then the other, like, once you launch into a battle, it literally launches a whole nother application.
Oh, okay.
So there's two running on top of each other. Snipe that guy. And this is an awesome thing, because this gun is it's the same gun.
It's the M1 Grand, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I'm impressed that you knew that. But it's the same gun from like all the old war stuff. Like it makes that ting sound when the magazine is emptying. It's like that was the famously the gun's one downside was that it made this loud noise when you had to reload. But it's super accurate, and like I don't know, it's pretty good. Like
those guns are beasts.
Yeah, I don't have a problem using this as my first gun.
No, the sights are awesome on these guns
Yeah.
too. That's why they were so popular in World War II as well.
The bullet physics are really good in the game. The physics I've noticed with player movement is fine, and same with vehicles. It seems okay. And they are kind of clunky the way real-life vehicles can be.
Mm-hmm.
But the one funny thing in this game that you'll find is anytime someone gets near an explosive, their body literally launches like hundreds of feet into the air. And I've seen it before. It's just like the funniest thing ever. I've had it happen to me, and it's
so there's some epic deaths.
You can't even be mad because it's just so funny. So... yeah, but I think this is a great game because it does encourage a lot of teamwork as well. You can't go solo because you're just gonna get taken out, you know. I'm trying to think who the developer was.
All right, so the developer is Rito Moto. And Rito Moto was founded by some of the original founders of IO Interactive in the Hitman series.
Ah.
So that's why there's quality behind.
There's a pretty
this.
I was gonna say there's some real craftsmanship in this game.
So the developers call it a mass participation game. Can you agree? I mean, it seems like there's a lot of strategy and it's very team oriented, but it's kind of open world, like open battlefield. It's like
yes, I mean yeah, and you know what? Speaking of open world, I've never ran into the map edge in one of these games. I'm sure I will. I think that it's because they've laid it out well in the early games because you're only going to be fighting over these 3 positions. But even still, like the maps are very large. It is a lot. It is like a mass participation thing because, you know, the game rewards you most for taking over these objectives. You'll get about 100 experience for capturing one. For killing somebody, you're getting between like 5 and 15 experience, depending on like if you get a headshot or if it was a savior kill. I've had some savior. There's a savior ribbon, and there's a lot of other perks like that you're going to get cool experience for doing badass thing, which is really good. But the main way to, and I love it that they do this because it really puts the onus on the objectives. It's like you can't just sit back and snipe. Like even if you do, you're not like you can, but you're not going to get nearly as much experience as if you actually get in and help capture a point, which I truly appreciate in the game. So we're just about the end of the gameplay here. You know, I'm just getting into the B area. I like that it actually shows you, once you're in the zone, it shows you how many of your team and how many of the enemy's team are in there. But it doesn't, there's no radar. You gotta find them, you know? So.
Cool.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Here we go again. Here's the little yellow experience bar right there is what you're missing out by not paying us for veteran time. You know, I get it. It's a free game. It's well made. They're trying to incentivize you to give them money, and good for them.
And it sounds like you're probably going to give them a couple bucks.
You know what? I don't feel the rush to open up everything in this game right away. You know,
let it come slowly.
You know, that's the thing. I don't mind it. Like I don't grind out first-person shooters for the most part. I'll play a multiplayer and PvP like this for a while. It's nice to, for me, it's like I like unlocking this stuff, you know? Right. That's part of what I love about it. Maybe I will eventually, just to open up some options, like I said, to open up the way I did in Hearthstone. Hearthstone, you know, I think overall you're opening up a wider variety of the game by giving them that much money than just giving these guys $20, I have a feeling. Mm-hmm. You know, and even still, even if I give them money, I still have to unlock it anyways. That means I'm committing that I paid for this time, now I have to like make sure I play this game.
Right, the money really is not getting you anything specific.
You've still got to put the time in and play the game.
So no pay to win.
So now here's also something you can see. You do have to make sure that your guns are repaired and that they'll automatically refill ammo.
That costs gold.
No. You can do it with a small currency they give you in the game. I like that they put the bullet drag in here as well as like the sights. That
is cool.
That I just think that's a neat addition. Here's some of like the some of those menus with the add-ons to the guns are a little bit unclear at first, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad of a system.
The little details like that make the game. That's what makes it worth purchasing the game, in my opinion, or donating for the cause.
Right, and you can, like I said, look here. I'm just setting it to auto repair. It's 9 of a resource that I currently have 18,000 of. So it's kind of all you need to do is make sure you don't leave your gun to get completely destroyed. I don't know why you would do that or what happens when you do that, but I recommend this game. It's worth downloading. Like, it doesn't have the polish of many other first-person shooters in terms of movement or, maybe graphical things, or maybe like the number of people you can have per battle. But it's so good at what it does, which is just like a simple, good...
Well, what's cool, too, is this game is actually... The engine is designed by the developer. It's in beta right now. It is in beta, yes. It's a browser-based engine. It's a browser-based 3D engine, so it's kind of new forefront technology. So that might be why there's a lot less lag than normal with the international community, too. I don't know. I might
could
be
be.
That in my butt.
Could be, and it could be why it has this separate application launcher.
Right.
I'm not going to try and get into the development like I know what's going on, but you can set up a squad of 5 play. You can be in a party of up to 5 people that you know and queue into a game. And here's like a global chat channel that you are more than welcome to dive into. There's currently 1,900 people in this chat channel. I did not stay in it for long. I'm just like, wow, there's a lot of people in here. How about that? Interesting thing. I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah. Download it. I mean, free game.
Why not? There's nothing to lose.
If you're into like World War II era stuff, first-person shooters, check this out. Heroes and Generals, awesome stuff.
Keep on gaming on.